This is the news that you've been waiting for. Megatin cases are in stock. I only have, as of making this video, 38 left. They cannot ship internationally, and you have to pick the free shipping option. Why would you want to try to pay more for shipping? So right now, they're $270 flat. When they're gone, well, we'll see what more I really have coming out here. But let's dig on into today's discussion, shall we? I had a really wild theory this morning. What if Konami designed the ban list for Tier 0 bugs? Don't be like one of the 37.6% of that have not smashed the crap out of that subscribe button. Come on, we're so close to 100K, I can taste it. So today, I had some interesting thoughts on the list here for the segment of What If, and it was in regards to Quagga Hercules. Now, you're like, well, Robbie, why are we talking about Quagga Hercules here, of all things? So, Konami obviously chose to not reprint the card. Right, because we just got the full OTS spoiler here. So I've kind of been sitting here looking at the ban list, Quagga Hercules in mind here, future insect support, and one thing has been coming to my mind here about all of this. With the last few sets that we've had here, these exclusives have blown big butthole, man. Like, they've been so ass that it has been ridiculous. Looking at you, mutants. Looking at you, all the other cool archetypes that we've had be exclusives. So much hope was, to be had for Warrocks. Right? People were super excited for this. And then we got the last wave of support here, which was the insect support. Didn't quite make the deck Tier 1, but it certainly as heck gave insects the chance to borderline Tier 0. Well, when you come on down here to the list, and you look at this, besides Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, besides, oh man, Sword Soul here, what if the next round of insect support actually is the hidden factor on the list? What if all of a sudden here, for the next 3 months, you're going to have to deal with Tier 0 insects, or, borderline Tier 1 insects, sitting at the dinner table with the other decks? What if that was the mastermind plan all along here for the list? Now, before you're like, wait a minute here, Robbie, you're talking some crazy good here, all right? So here's my thing with this. Konami TCG in the exclusive making department, it's kind of shown me that they have a good idea how to design cards. Now, besides, Quagga Hercules out here being an abysmal pile of expensive here, I was kind of thinking here, I was like, with the release of Ready Fusion here, what's to stop NA from printing a generic, literally like 2 insect monsters on like a level 6 body, alright, to like maybe replace Quagga Hercules. Not only that, you get to double down on a super poly target here, but I mean, granted, what's stopping them from giving them an effect and making this card completely irrelevant? Alright, maybe something to the degree of maybe a specific instance of this, because when we release 2 generic of support here. Alright, so for an example, if we just had 2 insect monsters to make it, it's like a vanilla monster with like, I don't know, 2,500 attack points. We call it the super big insect or something like that. That's fine. Unless you would go like more specific and be like, well, that's too generic. Alright, like we've already got something like Mud Dragon that exists with 2 monsters and like different attribute involvement and so forth for other things. So maybe going that impactful could be a difference. But I mean, to be fair, we did get an the exclusive Fire Fist Synchro, which is literally just 2 beast layers to make it. So, giving Konami the benefit of the doubt here, looking at them going, well, they skipped Quagga Hercules, that's where my first thought of this potential insect design could actually come into play, because they're like, well, we don't need to reprint Quagga Hercules. If in Burst of Destiny here, we're just going to print a new common vanilla fusion monster that would basically subsidize the fact that you don't need to have Quagga Hercules. That would effectively patch all that, right? So that'd be mission accomplished. You wash your hands with that, and that's checked. So we fixed the Ready Fusion issue in that regard. So not only do we patch the reprint issue, we patched that. Now, what about the other crazy support here? Because as I said, we've had a lot of failed TCG archetypes, and by failed, they didn't quite hit the mark on competitive play. That doesn't mean that the archetypes themselves aren't fun and enjoyable, because there are a lot of people out there that do enjoy War Rocks and Mutants. Just because they didn't hit that tier 1 mark does not mean that they failed in the design for being, playable to some people. They just missed the mark on competitive play. Now, when you look at insect support here, you can gosh darn bet your butt that they did hit the mark with that competitive play. Konami did a wonderful design so far, with including basically Resonance Insect, the Goki Pole strategy. Insects, as of this moment in making this video, Pre-Burst, are just a giant hodgepodge of like all sorts of different things throughout time and space. Remember, later on down the line here with Grand Creators, we have the new exclusive Inzektor card coming out. It's probably going to let you search for Inzektor stuff, which is going to streamline the engine even more. So when Burst comes along here, you're going to probably expand out on the B-Trooper archetype at some point here. We've already got Invincible Atlas and a Link too. So at that point in time, the next thing that comes to my mind is we're probably going to branch out into Fusions and Exceeds. That's where I bring up the point of the generic Fusion common here. All right, a very wide, easy common such as that'd be widely available. They just produced Knights End Sorcerer, of all things. All right, nobody in NA asked for that. Nobody said, you know what, I want a synchro for Knights End Sorcerer. Not a single soul. That's how I know that Konami can design good insect support, ladies and gentlemen. All right, affordability is always going to be key, and you can't tell me that Konami hasn't looked at Quagga Hercules and went, maybe insects need a super poly target. Maybe we don't have to worry about insects ever being good. What's the easiest way to do that? Why make an insect super poly target that actually is a threat when you can multi-purpose engineer the card as a super poly target and a vanilla monster? All right, like literally. But the realistic side of this situation is this is all very possible stuff. All right, now when you look at the list here, all right, and you've seen that we just did a generic wipe across the field here. We took all of the modern tier 1 and said, hi, I see you up there. I see you guys are having a good time. And they knocked every deck, pretty much besides Virtual World, down a peg. Now, in terms of card design, that tells me one thing. They're either designing the list to be, yeehaw, Sword Soul everywhere, best deck, or Konami's planning for more than just Sword Soul at this point. Konami on the secret backburner, secret agenda in the deep courtroom here at the Konami office is like, this is it, guys. We've let down in the last few archetypes. The first wave of B-Trooper support was absolutely the best thing that we could have ever pumped out. So what can we do to make this even better? You know what? With the way the design on the list is, we got this new insect support. All right, Insect's best deck, late 2022. Mark my words on it. So, I don't know. I just looked at this. I was like, it's really suspicious right now, because with the Quagga Hercules dodging the reprint, with the list and everybody going, this is so lackluster. And looking at like current power scaling heading into Bode here, not only will Burst be the best set of 2021 by far, besides the Megatins, all right, best core set. I'm just saying here. All right, if Bugs get that huge crazy bump up in support, it's GG no re for the format. So are you guys expecting, or am I on like some crazy wild theory here? Because like I said, Konami's proven to us that they can produce these weird synchros, these weird monsters. So looking at Quagga Hercules and design and going, we can patch this problem. We just have to print a new card to make this viable. And, every other archetype, Konami seems to look at these cards and go, we need a generic super poly target for this, or a way for this archetype to fight itself. Black Wings have the built-in fun card in their own archetype called Samord, or not Samord, Sirocco. Literally gains the attack of all Black Wings. Fire Fist has a built-in super poly target, right? 2 Beast Warrior monsters. It's always comical when you look at these archetypes, when they just put in cards in their own archetype to beat themselves. And I think that this will be one of those things. So hopefully I'm not wrong here. Hopefully Insects will be on the same competitive tier as Sword Soul as we head into the next set, because, you know, the last few letdowns have been pretty big letdowns, and I'm actually hoping that at this point in time that Konami has absolutely learned from this, and, you know, I'm hoping that Insects are that, you know, turning point for this, because, you know, effectively 3 sets of good Insects exclusives, you know, counting grand creators here, definitely tells me that something good has to come out of this. So are you guys excited for the potential here for Insects? Please leave a comment up down below, guys. I want to absolutely read and enjoy all these comments. I'm super excited to kind of see what we'll get out of this here, and I will see your beautiful faces back here later on in the day with some more cool awesome content. All right, you guys stay absolutely safe out there, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later on in the day. Peace out, guys. Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well, I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out Vanquill40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by Imquill40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out imquillgames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.